what have we got here? Let's see. Welcome to First Pitch Live.
Good morning. We have Smitty Bucks in the building. A little later start today, 9:30. But with the 9:30 start, we expect to have double the amount of people in here. I want standing room only tickets sold out. Coffee lines are down the block. I'm not a coffee guy, so I got right in and my nice little energy drink. Smitty sounded like he's smashing a coffee mug on his side. Good morning, Smitty. What's going on?
Well, we were trying to be nice today and let everybody sleep in a little bit. Now, we had I was already at a volleyball game. I got to go back to another volleyball game. So it's been a busy morning in the Smith house, but I got one dog, one cat down here. It should be entertaining. So, but no, just another great Friday night, crazy night, some big news, some teams, a lot of rainouts. So we get a lot of double headers today, which I'm not a big fan of the doubleheader. I don't like reading those lines very well. A lot of stuff can go crazy with the pitching staffs in that one. So, but no, thanks for being here, and let's talk baseball and get some winners today.
All right. Before we jump into the Friday night slate, I got a couple comments popping up. I'll get to those in a second, but little different iteration of the show. We've got all four guys from the College Baseball Insiders team available. Matt will be here momentarily. I'm going to add Nick to the stage. Nick's joining us, so it'll be his inaugural First Pitch Live appearance. All right, let me get my guy Nick in. Nick, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Nick.
Oh, we got three of the four. Like I said, Matt will be in here momentarily. His kid's up to bat. I think it's kind of bullshit he didn't live stream the at-bat. But we can talk about that behind the scenes, and we can put him on a performance improvement plan.
Maybe he'll have a line for his kids' game today, and we can get some action on it. So
listen, let's get that Arkansas 13U team line.
We could always go Brendan Sorsby and just bet on pitch by pitch. What we think's gonna happen.
I like it. That's good. All right, we got Scott R. Cooley in the house. Scott, I've never actually seen your name. It's awesome to have you, man. Welcome.
Yeah.
We've got Crutch. Crutch is here. He's been up since 4 a.m. Yeah, I was with you.
Yep. I talked to him already this morning. Good to have you here.
Hopefully gets the worms. That's true. Hazard, Canes, good morning, fellas.
Oh, Derby. I love the Derby talk. Yes.
That's it. Where did I see Derby? Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Derby. Well, that's with an E, Hazard, but we're not going to hold it together or hold it against you. It's early. Oh, Octagon's in the house. All right, Kane's always in here.
We're not worried about spelling. This is not a spelling bee.
We got the point. All right.
I need the word Derby in a sentence. I will win a lot of money today on the Derby. Exclamation point.
Give me the language of origin. Bob Baffert.
Green pass. Bob Baffert. Let's go now. I got it. Yeah. At the end, just remind me. I'll give you a couple horses.
All right. Normally we do about a 35 to 40-minute show, so we'll get rolling here as you guys start settling in. Nick, we start normally with the Friday night storylines. Now I know we had a lot of rainouts, so we're kind of limited for the Friday night slate, but why don't you give me your thoughts, and then we'll go to Smitty. Give me your main Friday night storylines. It could just be something wild, a specific play. It could be, what you did see, what you didn't see, highs, lows, anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd be remiss not to start with the biggest news of the day didn't have to do with the game. Dax Whitney being out for the rest of the season that's a tough pill to swallow if you're a Beavers fan and just a college baseball fan in general. I mean, I know we're all excited. Don't get to watch many of their games this year just because they stream on their own platform. So it's always, you kind of miss those games, and you expect to see them in the NCAA tournament still, obviously. But now the question comes, I saw somebody post a real good question of, are they going to get treated by the committee kind of like Florida State did when Jordan Travis went down, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago now, and didn't get in the playoffs? Are they still going to be a host? Because when I heard Mike Rooney did an interview with the head of the committee, and he basically said that what we take into account injuries, we take into account people returning from injuries. So that'll be interesting to see what they do, because we all know without Dax Whitney on Fridays, that completely changes the outlook for Oregon State.
100%. I I know it's a different sport, but it's definitely plausible when you lose probably the number one pitcher in the country to be judged by that, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. We got our guy Matt live from the ball fields, Central Arkansas.
Hollywood.
I did take a little
Mike.
shot at you though. I did take a shot at you. I think it's kind of bullshit. You didn't live stream the at bat and let us put a couple nickels on it.
No, after the result, I'm glad that I didn't, because he had a high ball that he swung at and then watched a check swing, or had a check swing and then watched one just right down the middle. So struck out.
Did he go down on a fastball or off speed?
It was off speed.
He was looking for the fastball, locked them up, buckled those knees.
Matt, start screaming at the umpire. I'll give you $5.
Oh, it's 14U is very inconsistent out here at 8:30 in the morning. I'll tell you that.
Well, I hate to tell you, 14U and NCAA aren't far off on that.
Yeah,
spectrum.
that's true. I don't know which
Matt, we're gonna
camera angle is better here, vertical or horizontal.
I think
Okay.
vertical. All right, Smitty, I'm going to bump you back one more time. We don't know how long we're going to have Matt here. Matt, give us your Friday night takes, what you saw, what you didn't see, anything like that. Nick just covered the Dax Whitney news.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot. As you saw, I had to text Nick about Tennessee, what had happened there with Kentucky. Obviously, I was locked into the Arkansas Ole Miss game. Hunter Dietz, once again, proving to be the best gift to the Razorback pitching staff in the most needed time of the year, comes through again. We'll see if Cole Gibbler can carry that over. And then I texted in the group, the fantasy baseball group. Does anybody ever play the ESPN Plus roulette game of what are they going to cycle me to next? I ended up watching a little bit of UMass baseball. Don't really know why, but it was on during the day. So cheers to that. But yeah, as far as around the country, I didn't have a close eye on anything else outside of Arkansas Ole Miss.
All right, Smitty, what'd you have?
Well, I think, Nick, what Nick said about Dax and then the Beavers going down again. They lost a midweek game. Now they lost this one. That was a big one. Coastal barely beating Georgia Southern yesterday, 8-7.
Yeah, they had to come back.
Yeah, 5 in the 8th. And then I just, Kansas, what Kansas is doing right now, they're just continue to stay hot and just, playing great baseball. I think they're 9-1 last 10, a good streak at home. And one more, Arizona State. I mean, it should be a fun one today. I want to look at the total in that one. Wind's blowing out. Both teams can score. So I think that one could be an electric, high-scoring game today.
Yeah, and let me touch on that real quick because Smitty just brought up a good point with Arizona State. Who would have thought that Cole Carlone would be as good as he has been? I mean, he's up there with – I just tweeted out the graphic I made last night, the 100K Club. There's now 5 guys, and 2 of them are from the Big 12 in Carlone and Ethan Lund of Oklahoma State. Is the Big 12 back? Is the pitching staff for the Big 12? Because for years, I feel like it's been all offense. They're going to score 12 and 13 runs. That's how they're going to win. But now they're kind of doing it with some dominant pitching.
Yeah, Willie Bloomquist really built that team to what he got. And then he kind of took some criticism, like, is he really the guy? And obviously, when you have a Landon Harrison on the offensive side making you look good, that's an easy conversation to have. And then, like you said, Cole Carlone. And, dude, I'll tell you what, even Cole Klecker, like, we watched that guy destroy Arkansas a couple years ago and then just fall off a cliff. People didn't even remember that he went to Arizona State, and he's looked really serviceable this year. So I know Arizona State's blown some games they shouldn't have, but overall, I think the program's on the rise, and it does start with some of their pitching in the Big 12.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's we're gonna pop over because I want to get your opinions before we let you guys. Well, if you got to go to the next at bat, but I wanted to really quick just show you guys something. I'm gonna log in here real quick, give you a little insider preview. So if you don't see it, it's your loss. If you see it, it's your gain. But I wanted to kind of touch on this real quick. So Matt is the inspiration, the brains behind this entire new revamp. And if you haven't signed up, you're missing out. We have this thing in the Insiders Clubhouse, the model projections. Will just essentially break down all the games in a 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. And then it tracks certain plays for units. But When you come over to the model value plays, which is locked behind the premium screen, you have all these choices where these are where the site has essentially picked its very best plays and given you, your star rating here. Do not miss out on this. If you click over here to this little like heart flatline diagram, it takes you right to the preview. Breaks you down the score here. It tells you the team. It tells you where the odds are from. Guys, it breaks down the value underdogs, the best parlay pieces, the best overall model value picks. If you guys aren't signing up, you guys are just absolutely dumb. This is a no-brainer by our guy named Matt Grissom.
And I do need to say, because it went a little drunk yesterday, it started sending out plays for like May 3rd, 4th, and I don't really know why other than it saw a new edge and it thought that, oh, well, they're playing 3 games. We've got to have odds for that. But we know in college baseball, we don't get odds a day in advance, much less 2 or 3. So
we're calling that cutting edge technology.
Got those deleted from the database. Still trying to work out some kinks to make it perfect. But yeah, it's done pretty well.
All right, why don't we just start with you again, Matt, and then we'll go to Nick. Are there any main matchups today? I know you're at the ball fields that you're going to be locked in on.
So I feel like UCLA is in kind of full fade mode on the run line. Just take the dog. UCLA has really struggled on offense, and that's a team that I feel like week in and week out I've been betting on the dog. I'm trying to remember now who they were playing last weekend, but I feel like they covered the run line every single time. And then USC is another team. They got the big win last night, I think, over Rutgers behind Mason Edwards, who threw like 114 pitches, tallying his season total strikeouts to 132. But USC on day 2 and day 3 have not been as dominant. So I may fade them against Rutgers on the run line.
I popped that one up. What about you, Nick? Any majors sticking out before we kind of run through the slate?
Yeah, I guess the ones that are sticking out are kind of I kind of want to be on Virginia Tech again. It feels like Virginia Tech hit them last night plus 135, and I was kind of questioning if I wanted to be on it personally, even with Renfroe going. But then it was one of those where I checked the model as well, and the model had a 3-star play, so then it made it automatic, and obviously that hit they won handily. So that was kind of an easy one. So might go with them again, especially since Virginia Tech is kind of right on that bubble line. And
our site loves them again.
And I'm not sure. Well, I saw the number from yesterday. I noticed that because the number today I think is plus 110 or 115.
Yep.
But definitely still one to look at. And then I guess I wish we'd get a number for Auburn A&M. I get it's a doubleheader, but also some other teams are playing doubleheaders where we get lines for. I know I talked about this on Southern Fried Baseball on Friday where I think a doubleheader actually helps out Auburn more just because of the depth of their pitching staff. And you can't necessarily, if you're A&M, you can't bring fresh corn in. You're not going to throw him in game 1 if he needs to come behind Sadeo, and then also in game 2 as well. So it's like when you're so limited in the bullpen, that kind of helps where Auburn's depth is going to make a difference. I'm also scared of who they throw in game 1 and game 2 because we don't know that. Because now we're assuming it's still Alvarez and Marciano, but we don't know how they're going to kind of line things up that way. So that's a tough one. But I guess one I am on, and while we have Matt on here, Dave, get his thoughts because I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking at it. I think this is the game that Ole Miss gets. I think Cade Townsend is just because of how good he's been and also his what he's best at. He's a strikeout pitcher, and we've talked about this bugaboo with Arkansas all season long, where it's like when teams get them, it's because they strike out a lot. And I just don't think that's a good matchup for Arkansas with Gibbler going.
Yeah, I am on Ole Miss too. I think they showed a stat last night. TJ Pompey, he would have the 3rd highest BABIP if he was in the MLB. BABIP is awesome, but that's batting average with with balls in play. His strikeout rate though is like 52% or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's ungodly bad. But yeah, when you're facing a strikeout pitcher, I think Arkansas is going to struggle to put up runs. which I think this series could very well turn into the Georgia series where they get the big win Friday night behind Dietz, and then it's all the opponent from there out. So I'm with Nick, too. I think Townsend and Ole Miss get it done today.
I think I'm going to jump on that with you guys. It's showing a ton of value. Our site has Ole Miss minus 183. To the right of that, it's showing all the books are about the 115 mark. So if you like value, it seems to be that the Ole Miss Rebels are the side to be on. Smitty, hit us with your plays, what you like, and then we'll start sliding through the schedule quickly.
Yeah, real quick. Arizona State UCF wins about 19 miles per hour out right now on DraftKings 13.5. I like the over in that. I might go back to the well. I know Nick was on it. I know Q, you were on the game. You were on Iowa yesterday. I was with Nick. I was on the over with that one. That's another one.
Didn't quite get there, did it?
Yeah, it got
it. It did hit. Okay.
Oh,
that was right. It was 10. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 11 or 12. I think it was 9-3 off the top of my head. So I had that one down again, 11.5 today on DraftKings. I might look back at that, see what our site says. And then another one I'm going to look at, I played last night, was Tarleton State, Utah Tech. I was on the over last night. That was a winner. I love that baseball. You just, hey, a lot of win last night. Pitching staffs, I put it in the write-up. I think one team ERA is like 6-something. The other one's 5. It was slow. It got there. Yeah, I saw that Octagon. Yeah, Clemson. What a train wreck that program is right now. But yeah, our site does like them.
I think it's just Michael Sharman has been so good, and he's still throwing game 2s for Clemson, and obviously Colarusso threw yesterday for Boston College. So Clemson obviously has a pitching advantage. Now, does Clemson show up or not? That's another case. But the numbers, like with them, all the model can pull is numbers. It can't pull what people are thinking, how the dugout's doing. So that's numbers do say Clemson. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I saw that, and I thought the same thing. It's at 69%. This is probably the side where I'd be on a 31%. And if you lose, you lose. And Clemson wins, it is what it is. But it's a stay away for me. I kept the Iowa up here real quick. You guys like the over, probably over again. Iowa, Matt said it in our text group yesterday. They have a sneaky good offense. The last few years, it's always been no offense, but a sneaky good pitching staff. And this year, it's kind of flipped. I'm back on Iowa. They won pretty handily yesterday. Illinois is in a steady decline. They're not playing great baseball. Iowa's at home. Iowa is starting to play really good baseball. So give me the Hawkeyes today minus 150. When we look at the rest of the slate, I'll tell you this. I need my Gators to win, so please put all your money on Oklahoma. And hopefully we play a reverse jinx there. Or you win your bet and you're like, hey, Q's one of the greatest cappers of all time. So either way, it could be a win-win. But, yeah, we do have a doubleheader. One game to watch out for is the Florida State because I did bet it.
Yeah.
But I believe it's the 6 p.m. game. They play at 2 and they 6. So I do think you're going to get the 6 p.m. line. But I still like it. You're either going to get Wes Mendez or Trey Beard. If they flip, whichever pitcher they want to go, it doesn't matter. I trust both of them. And it was at minus 175. So there's another play that I love. I just think Florida State's in a good spot to really bounce back after what happened last weekend.
Yeah, Q, on that real quick, I will say, so DraftKings, I noticed that this morning too. They had the 6 o'clock game. They actually flipped it. And now Florida State is at 2 on DraftKings unless they completely took it off. Yeah, it's at 2 on DraftKings. So I guess you're betting on game 1. I'm not sure which one it's going to hold you to.
I bet on DraftKings this morning. It was 6. So
yeah, so
maybe I can get both.
But it's still minus 195. I'm assuming that's probably around like the money line that you got. But yeah, just a heads up to people because they did flip it from what it was this morning.
Well, you know what? I might take both of them and try to double dip there because I think they could win the doubleheader today. I know Pitt's offense is really good, but you have 2 aces on the mound, so I like that. Can I interest you? And I don't have DraftKings pulled up here. Give me 1 second. So we have at 1 o'clock, we have Louisville, Wake Forest. That series has been super weird. It's a walk-off error, per se, Friday night or Thursday night, and then a walk-off hit by pitch last night. It's a complete stay away. You just don't know what 2 teams are going to show up. Over-under is 14. The Clemson one we just talked about. Clemson up to minus 160 now on DraftKings. Over-under is 10. Yesterday, I believe it was 8-4, so they hit that.
Mhm.
And then the Arizona State is the other 1 o'clock game before we get into 2 o'clocks. Over-under 13.5. UCF is favorites at minus 130. Are you guys touching any of the 1 o'clock slates?
I'm going to jump on that over Arizona State.
Arizona State swinging the bats. All right, Matt. Anything? Any of those?
No, I don't think I'm going to be on anything.
All right.
Starting at
I
1.
might join Smitty on the over on that Arizona State. They're hitting the ball hot. Warmer weather down in Central Florida. I like that. Missouri, Georgia. Georgia, way overpriced. That's got to be a 3-team parlay piece at minus 620. Anybody trying to touch Vandy, Alabama? Alabama's won both games, the Thursday and the Friday. So this is your game 3. Alabama's minus 135.
I don't think Vanderbilt gets swept. I think Wyatt Nadeau has been pretty good. As far as a game 3 guy, I think Vandy probably gets this one. I find it hard to believe Alabama's going to sweep.
Wins 13 blowing out.
There you go.
Give
Can
me
I get
the
a
better
Justin
offense.
LeBron home run prop?
Go with the better offense and Vandy.
Yeah, let me touch real quick because go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, who would have thought that? Talking about Iowa's offense being good, Vandy just really hit or miss.
Yeah.
But hopefully they're booming today.
Nick?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to touch on, just because you mentioned Missouri, Georgia. This is not one I'm on today, but tomorrow I'm going to be on Georgia run line. I think tomorrow, because for Mizzou, like McDevitt was great last night. Kellen Brink has been – his ERA doesn't show it, but Sierra looks a lot better. He's been a lot better than kind of the numbers say. So today's kind of stay away for me too. But I think tomorrow for Georgia, I think that's when that turns into an ugly Georgia like Sunday type Georgia game. Like, cause they didn't throw Aoki yesterday. They threw Scott, but he'll probably still be available for Sunday. I think that run line it's 3.5 today. It'll probably be 4.5 tomorrow. I think we're looking at like the typical Sunday Georgia offensive takeover. So I do know I'll be on Georgia run line tomorrow.
They're already juiced on that. It's minus 3.5 and minus 125. So people are obviously hammering that.
Yeah.
And I would expect if they keep hammering it, you'll get into the 4s by first pitch. Give me your thoughts on Tennessee, Kentucky. I don't really know how to feel about that series. We went into it thinking I thought Tennessee had the massive advantage.
Yeah.
And here we are. I still don't have a vibe. Like Ben Cleaver threw lights out yesterday. Now I get why Tennessee just kind of chalked it up as a loss early on and didn't really throw, their best bullpen arms. It makes sense you're playing for tomorrow. But, yeah, it was just a weird feeling this series. I couldn't get a true gauge on it.
Yeah, it's always weird when Tennessee goes up there. I said it on Friday's show. It's basically Kentucky Super Bowl, has been for the last, 4 or 5 years. But it worked out in their favor. I was shocked when they threw off. Cleaver turned – I said it in our group text yesterday – Ben Cleaver turned back into the Cleaver from last year, which was we hadn't seen, but it wasn't. He was not missing spots. He was controlling speeds. He had Tennessee completely off balance. It was very impressive. Octagon. Aoki Sunday, if the game's close today, they'll use Aoki out of the bullpen today, and then it'll just be all hands on deck tomorrow. But yeah, as of right now, Aoki will start Sunday unless he has to throw today. But yeah, from Tennessee standpoint, obviously you mix around the with Blanco's going today against Jackson Jelkin, it's a stay away from me just because I think Tennessee's a better team. But yeah, things always get weird up there in that bar when Tennessee comes to town. It's been the same way for years. It's a stay away. We'll see which version of Jackson Jelkin we get. Evan Blanco's been kind of steady Eddie. What you're going to get. He'll give up his 2 or 3.
You're going to get 6 innings, 3 runs.
Yeah, exactly. He'll give up his 2 or 3, throw about 6 innings. And then, but the good thing is today, since Tennessee kind of threw off, obviously Appenzeller is fully go out of the pen. So that would kind of be that case. If the game is close at the end, I definitely trust Appenzeller versus anybody Kentucky brings out for the bullpen.
Can I interest you in a little Arizona, Kansas? Kansas at minus 395. They're obviously starting to get pretty juiced odds on this insane winning, month they're on. I can't even call it a streak. It's been an entire month. Minus 395. Run line's -3.5 against an Arizona team who probably should insert us 3 into the lineup because I don't think it could get any worse. Now, on the pitching side, they're not horrible. Kansas didn't absolutely blow them out yesterday that I recall. The problem is they just can't score. Like, as soon as the game, they go down 1-0, the game's pretty much over anytime they're playing a quality team. Kansas, for me, might be a parlay piece today. They're just on a tear. Any of you guys touching that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind putting them as a parlay piece. I love looking at the teams that are at home and they have a great, like Nebraska's one that if it's an okay number, I'm matching them at home because they always win at home. 9 wins in a row for Kansas at home. I think, it's a good piece. I like them, and I'll tell you another team. I mean, it's high. You got to match it, but I like East Carolina too.
Yeah.
At Memphis. I played them yesterday. That Towers kid has been fantastic. Pitching for them. They're starting to put it together. So go Pirates. I'm going to look at them again to match up with somebody today. Those are 2 good, I think, parlay pieces. Kansas. Another one. I mean, if you're not afraid of the higher juice, West Virginia. I don't know what our site has on this game yet. Could you bring up the Kansas State, West Virginia? Because Kansas State's a team that has just been really cold lately. And I think West Virginia is a pretty good home team.
Slight edge. Yeah, I mean, it's essentially a pick 'em, but
yeah, okay.
But West Virginia plays really well at home.
Yeah, Kansas State, I think 3 of 7 last 10. They're just cold right now.
Offensive advantage is to the Wildcats, but again, West Virginia, a pretty decent team at home. I would say it's one of the better home advantages, especially because you could factor in weather out there in West Virginia, and a lot of teams don't like that cold, nasty weather. Now, don't hold me to that. I haven't looked at their weather report today, but it's always something to monitor out there in West Virginia. We already talked about Ole Miss, Arkansas, so I'll just skip that. It is still -115 on DraftKings. Ole Miss +1.5 is -188 if you don't want to necessarily take the money line on the road.
Wind is blowing out in that West Virginia, 11 miles per hour.
There you go. Illinois, Iowa, we already touched on that. Utah, BYU. Utah trounced them yesterday after losing 6-4 the night before. Over under 16. I mean, this is a pure bullpen game for both teams. I could see this skyrocketing over, especially if you have decent weather out there in Provo. Check that weather report. If it's decent, you're going to get it over 16. That you can book that right now.
That was one I lost yesterday. I had over last night, and it just it didn't get there. 8-1, 9-1, something like that. It was 16. I think it's a 16 again today. The total.
One of the games I'm close to pulling the trigger on. Missouri State -120 against Jacksonville State.
I was about to bring this up too.
Our site says it should be like -110, so you're right there at -120. Jacksonville State's obviously had a hell of a season. Missouri State has had a really good season as well. I don't know. I have this feeling like this is Missouri State's time to win a big-time series at home. You can see here 36-10 for Jacksonville State, 27-15. Both have really good conference records in Conference USA. They're near the top. Strength of schedule, Missouri State has played a way harder schedule. You can see them in the top 35, whereas Jacksonville State's almost 150. And the edge is with the home team, a significant edge. I mean, essentially a run. They have the offensive advantage here. You can see the WRC, the expected WRC. They're still with the advantage. Huge power advantage, 79 home runs to 38. And then you come over to the other side, and Jacksonville State has essentially all of the defensive and the pitching advantage. So what are you trusting here? Are you trusting the bats? Or are you trusting the arms? Our site says Missouri should be -133, so you are getting value at the -120 now versus earlier. I think I'm going to lay this one. Are you on that one with me, Nick?
This is what I was looking at. Did you have our pitchers logged in here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if they're the correct guys though. I came from work, so I didn't look. Okay.
Yeah, they are. This is one because it also caught my attention because Missouri State won yesterday. They're also 18-1 at home. And especially coming off last weekend, this felt like I think both these teams are probably very worthy at larges, and they're probably both going to be in Jacksonville State a lot more comfortably right now just because of that RPI. Missouri State, I think, needs this more It just kind of feels like that. It feels like that this weekend. So yeah, I'm very close to playing it. I haven't yet. I was actually hoping we'd get Missouri State at like plus money when it was coming out. But yeah, this is one I'm very close to pulling the trigger on. I'm scared. Jacksonville State throwing their ace today is kind of why I didn't pull the trigger yet. Bo Bryant's 5-0, 2.95 ERAs. It's kind of hard to bet against.
That's tough. All right. I'll sit on that one. I haven't officially bet it.
Yeah.
Matt, do you have any thoughts on that one?
No, I don't, but I just locked in a couple of plays. I locked in the Michigan State Spartans plus 4.5. I did Rutgers plus 3.5 against USC, Virginia Tech plus 114, and CSUN plus 4.5 against the lowly Oregon State. So basically fading the West Coast teams today.
Michigan State is hosting. They're plus 600 if you want to touch the money line with a couple
UCLA
crumbs.
won that game last night 4-1. It took a late
rally.
Yeah,
they were down. Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, this UCLA offense, I cannot trust them right now.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing, Matt. I was just keeping an eye on some scores. I was doing some things last night, and I was like, man, how is this team not scoring against Michigan State?
Yeah, they're sleepwalking. Like you talk
They
about
are sleepwalking.
A team that's just so ready for the NCAA tournament to start. Like it's a team that's full, like whatever. They returned 8 guys from that College World Series team. So they're just, I think those guys now are just like, let's just get us to postseason play already. Like we're kind of sick of playing these Big Ten teams. We don't want to go. Who wants to go up to Michigan right now when you could be in LA? So it's very sleepy for them recently.
Here's a play I am going to be on today. It's another mid-major. Texas State playing against South Alabama. I think Texas State gets it done today. You can get it minus 145. Our site's saying it should probably be in the 180 range. Can I interest anybody in a little Texas State Bobcat home win?
Yep, I like it. I know a couple other people that are on it. I will be joining you on that play.
South Alabama won yesterday, right? Or
they did.
Okay.
No, you're right. They did. Yep. That's why I think it's a good bounce back spot.
Yeah.
We already talked about West Virginia, Kansas State.
Could pull up Mississippi State, Texas.
Yeah, let's pull that up.
I'm about to hop off here, but one more thing to add. But even as dominant as Mason Edwards was for USC only won that game 5-1. I know it wouldn't have covered the 3.5 I took today, but outside of Edwards, I know Grant Govell has been good. I don't trust the USC offense to continue to get it done, especially in a spot where they are probably sleepwalking through Big Ten play. I mean, nobody wants to get up for a Rutgers game, but USC's offense has struggled at times. The pitching staff's really what has anchored their victories along through the season. So I'm going to continue to fade them in UCLA for the time being.
All right, let's Matt, do you have anything else before you jump off? Any plays that you want to give out?
No, I'll probably be on Tennessee in a bounce back, and then Vanderbilt in some capacity. I'm trying to decide if I want the run line or the money line at a little plus. I think it was 104 or something.
Yep.
A lot of juice to lay for the plus 1.5, but it saved me Thursday night. We'll see if I go back to it, but I'll post all my plays in the clubhouse. And thank you guys for letting me hop on.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
Hey, Matt.
See y'all.
All right, I'm going to switch to the trio here. Give me a second. There it is. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, I got your we've got about 4 minutes here. Let's get that. This is a weird series, right? So Texas dominant on the mound. Mississippi State has the better offense. Yesterday, Dylan Volantis just absolutely – I mean, he was a carving station. Looked like he was at a buffet just carving prime rib. Batter up next, just carving them up, boys. Again today, Texas should, in my opinion, have the pitching advantage. But then Mississippi State, you could also probably entice me in saying, hey, this offense is really good. To me, there is a slight drop-off from Volantis and then your Harrison and your Ruger Riojas. I think Volantis is like top tier, probably one of the best 3 pitchers in the country. Those guys are just quality pitchers. Is this a day where Mississippi State could kind of turn it around on the road is a tough thing to say, but what's your thoughts, Nick?
It feels like if Mississippi State's going to get one this series and not get swept, it needs to be this one. And that's kind of where I would lean towards playing Mississippi State or nothing. Because, I mean, you kind of have to trust, like, Duke Stone, and then you have Brigham Riojas, who's struggled, I think, 3 weeks in a row now. And I think it's just a much better matchup than trying to mess with Charlie Foster having to go against Luke Harrison tomorrow, where that's an extreme pitching matchup for Texas, or advantage for Texas. So I do feel like, unless you think Mississippi State's getting swept, I think Mississippi State really needs this one today, and I might be on them.
All right, we have a quick question here in the chat. Canes wants to know the odds on the Miami. So Miami's throwing Siskar today. They threw Calera game 1 yesterday. Rob Evans game 2. I was talking to my old man real quick. He didn't really like the Rob Evans start, but I told him, I was like, listen, you don't know what you're going to get from that guy coming from that ankle injury. Start him game 2. If you go to a rubber match, at least you have AJ Siskar, which is a clear advantage on a game 3 against a lot of teams in the country. So I think Miami actually made the smart play, but they're not favorites here. It is essentially a pick 'em. You could vouch for anybody under a half a run or less. But Miami's on the road in a rubber match, -110, plus 1.5 is -180 against North Carolina State. These are two teams. I just don't know what you get. It's a stay away. I know Canes is probably going to be all over it. He's going to watch it, but you never know what Hurricane team's going to show up, and you never know what Wolfpack team's going to show up. So when the numbers say it, it's like I don't even know if I trust the numbers, and I don't know if the system trusts the numbers because, again, one time they show up, they score 1 run or 11.
Yeah, that was a crazy one yesterday. Yeah. No feel for this one.
No.
Have we seen who NC State's throwing?
I have not.
Okay, because they were TBA, so I didn't know if you'd seen it.
I did not see anything yet. Any of the later games? I know San Diego State had a walk-off yesterday. Nick, that you tweeted that one.
Yeah, that was an awesome.
UC San Diego's on the road against Long Beach State. They've kind of been a team we've touched on at times. Santa Barbara's playing Cal State Bakersfield. Oregon-Washington is the late-night game. Skinamax game of the night at 10 o'clock on the West Coast. Oregon's -280 on the road. Can I interest you in any of those lines? I'm sorry, TCU, Oklahoma State's a 7 o'clock prime time. And we're not even going to talk about my Florida Gators unless you're playing on it.
I am not.
Okay.
Yeah, the TCU Oklahoma State one interests me, but I think it was, for some reason, I want to say they were both TBA, which was very strange.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, I saw Lepore
was TBA.
I saw their lineup.
Yeah. Davis is going for TCU and then TBA for Oklahoma State. So this is one where we could get runs here, and then obviously TCU is going with James on Sunday. So this could be one with runs. And I guess I'm gonna pick your brains here because one I did look at, and you talked about the Skinamax game. Oregon -2.5 kind of drew my attention. I know Washington's pretty tough to beat at home. And Oregon didn't play great yesterday, but it feels like Oregon's played so many close games lately where this one kind of
it's like every game's a 1-run game.
Yeah, it just feels like this Oregon should be able to beat them by more than 2.5. But
I felt that way against Penn State, and they won 5-4 just about.
Oregon's such a weird team, I think. Yeah. Anytime I bet them, it's like they don't play well or they lose the game outright.
Yeah, they did it to me against Illinois twice. Yeah.
I think I was right with you. I think that was the series, Nick. I think I was right with you.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just I want to go back really. I mean, keep this one up. But the Oklahoma State, that was one again. Our site loved them yesterday, and I think I wrote you guys. I said, I like them, and I should have played that over. I like the over again in that. I mean, our site had a higher scoring game. I think right now it's at 13. It just seems like both those teams always score a lot of runs. And with the pitching, still don't know who's going to pitch. This one could get a little crazy today. I might eye up that one and maybe give that a shot at the over 13.
Smitty on about 4 or 5 overs today.
I love the overs now.
Overs.
I'm Mr. Over. I love I'm back. I'm on the over. Well, you know what? It's just some of the craziness. I said to myself last night, I think I'm about done betting the SEC because it's just
we said that all season long.
And then it just sucks you back in, Nick.
Yep.
But I went against I took Tennessee, of course, last night in a money line parlay, and I went against my Kentucky team, and then it was 6-0. I was like, Yeah, I jinxed them. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to do that every week, and Kentucky will really get hot and go on a major run. But no, I do like some overs today. So yeah, I might be Mr. Get rid of the teaser king, just take Mr. Over guy now. So yeah.
All right, Nick, final thoughts. We're coming up on that 40-minute mark.
Okay. I was going to say, do you still have the site pulled up? Could you pull up Michigan and Maryland real quick? Just because that is those are kind of playable numbers. And I've had a chance to pull it up on the look at it on the site yet. Because that was one I was kind of interested to see, probably be on the side of Michigan, but
overs.
It looks like Michigan is throwing Bynum against Hastings. Because it looks like Barr, Bynum, and then,
let's see if that changes. Not really.
Oh, my gosh.
From a total standpoint,
yeah.
Really. But
so that's a low, Nick. That's a low. DraftKings, that's an 11.
I'm not looking over Smitty, Mr. Over guy.
And hey, we saw the Maryland team in person. That pitching staff, they can bring some guys that I don't know.
So weather's going to be in the mid 50s and sunny here.
Maryland underdog on the side, minus 105. That was kind of interesting because I do think Michigan's the better team, and they're right on that borderline as well. Of kind of people are talking about them. 1 week they're on the bubble, next week they're completely off the bubble. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. So, yeah, okay. So this is a stay away from me, only because personally I was leaning Michigan, but wanted to see what the site said, and the site's completely flipped the other way.
I kind of like the over. Sunny, mid 50s. Our site's projecting 15 runs. It's 11.
Somebody played the under again today. I can't remember who did on social, but yeah, if I would do anything, that game yesterday was very low scoring, wasn't it?
Yeah, Michigan games have been. Michigan has been pitching it extremely well.
Yeah. All right, maybe I'll look more into that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you're going to go off the model here, that's a no-brainer. An 11.
What was the score yesterday? 2-1 yesterday in 10 innings. Ugh.
You got to think their offenses will wake up. All right, that's a TBD. I'm going to have my plays out here probably by 10:45 in the next half hour, really cram down. Nick, final thoughts? Anything before we head off?
Yeah, there should be some. Obviously, we're getting a ton of games today with a bunch of extra double headers. I'll just hit the SEC points. Obviously, Mississippi State, Texas, massive series. Kentucky really needs a series against Tennessee if they want to make the tournament. And then you already talked about Florida. But then, the two biggest ones, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and then obviously to get two different Auburn A&M games, those are absolutely must-see TV for both of them.
Yeah. Smitty, final thoughts?
Yeah, I'll just throw a little Derby action. Derby's tonight. Always will bet on that. Renegade is the favorite. Did not get a very good spot. Got the number one. It hasn't. I don't think the favorites won this race since 2018. I think it was just that did. And the number one spot is brutal. Renegade is a closer. They can get out of the gate. I think it should still be okay. Commandment, I really like. Big scratch this morning was Puma. Puma was a good horse. I think that ran second in the Florida Derby. So Chief Wallaby is a good one. Emerging Markets, another really good one. I have not done my official play, but Commandment won the Florida Derby. Everything you've heard, the Florida Derby seemed like where the big boys were running that day than some of these other prep races. So I'm looking at maybe Commandment. I think Renegade, if it can get out of the gate okay, because it's such a late closer, it could still hit the board. I don't think it's the best horse. I think Commandment is. So right now, keep an eye on Commandment and Chief Wallaby and Emerging Market. There's one for you. But I will post my my official plays on the Derby later.
All right, you can find us Derby plays on Twitter. You can find all of our plays at the current Dub Club subscribers and collegebaseballinsiders.com. And once you sign up and you get a premium account, you'll be able to see the value plays as well as our plays on the same platform. We have tomorrow's games. We have a lot of doubleheaders today, so a ton of baseball, pretty decent weather around the country. So it should be a good weekend as we start getting closer to conference tournaments and postseason play. We'll be back with you guys next Saturday. We may even bring Nick back on. We'll see if his schedule allows it. And that's about it.
Morgan Wallen next Friday night, so I doubt I will be up early next Saturday.
Get up, Nick.
Listen, I want you to hold a sign up and just give a play to Morgan Wallen.
Hey, I don't have
the
the Revitalite, but drink some of those and you'll be fine.
Revitalite.
Yeah.
There you go. Mine's upstairs.
Guys.
Get on that.
Get on the horn with us. You sent us the nice stuff. Let's lock in a deal. Let's get you as an official partner. We'd love to have you. Revitalite. Drink Revitalite.
Fantastic stuff.
As always, the show was presented by Home Fit Apparel. Go check their stuff out. CBC 15% off your first order. Join the brand, join the movement. Some of the best retro collegiate gear on the market. You'll see them out in Omaha. You'll see us out in Omaha repping their stuff. As always, let them know that the College Baseball Insiders crew sent you. They love us. We love them. They'll always take you in and give you good quality stuff. So, all right, you guys enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Derby. It's a great time. We love the ponies. We love the baseball players. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good day. We'll see you guys.